Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. And for those that are new, welcome. Here we are, the news press secretary, the spokesperson for the president, a.k.a. mouthpiece. And this is what you get for a top Ivy League school education. You're probably looking at $400,000 maybe, that much of education this woman has gotten. And look how she answers questions. You're going to find it fascinating. It's amazing to me. Those of you that are younger, read what the Peter Principle is.
Given the fact that they keep hitting new highs, are there new initiatives, new policy proposals that your team is working through right now that could possibly have an effect or that you could roll out in the weeks ahead if prices continue where they've been?
So everything's on the table, as you heard us say the last couple of weeks. But I do want to say, if you look at what happened when Putin started amassing troops on the border with Russia, the price of gas has increased by $1.51.
Just want to get back to what you said a minute ago.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's all Putin's fault because he was in bed with Donald Trump. Don't you remember the Russia collusion? And now that Trump isn't president anymore, it's the opposite. Oh, I see.
Saudi Arabia, finding more oil and getting out to market is such a key part of the broader strategy with Russia right now. When OPEC Plus made that announcement, you could have a statement saying we recognize the role of Saudi Arabia in achieving this consensus. You're saying when the president, when senior administration officials are talking to people in Saudi Arabia, the question of oil production never comes up?
I'm saying it's not the focus. It's not on the agenda, right?
It's not the focus. It's not on the agenda. Oil, gas, the thing that runs our economy is not the focus. It's not on the agenda. Biden voters, if this is what you voted for, you got your wish. I wish you hadn't screwed the rest of us.
That's something for OPEC Plus to decide. Clearly, Saudi Arabia chairs that. And so we just want to be very clear on that.
It's not for OPEC to decide. Up until the 1970s, we were the biggest exporter of gas and oil. Exporter, let alone producer. And then when Donald Trump was president, we were the biggest exporter, even more than Saudi Arabia, and now it's up to OPEC and not the U.S. Lie after lie after lie.
Yes, that the president who called Saudi Arabia a pariah state does not believe it is a dictatorship, or believes that for whatever its governance shortcomings, obtaining the oil is more important?
So, as you started off saying, the president is focused on getting things done for the American people.
Hey, could you do me a favor, Saudi Arabia? You're a pariah state. You guys are monsters. Hey, could you do me a favor? This is Biden talking. Could you produce some more oil, bring the price down to help the Democrats win this November? I really appreciate it. I still think you're a piece of garbage, Saudi Arabia, but do me this favor and I appreciate it.
On the solar panels, how is this not a gift to Chinese solar manufacturers, who many of whom operate with forced labor and are subsidized by the Chinese Communist Party?
You see her sigh about the slave labor and the subsidized products that the Chinese Communist Party subsidizes. She just sighs like, oh, not this again. People suck so bad.
Today's announcement is about one country and one country alone, and it's about the United States.
It's not about the United States. It's about the Communist Party, the CCP. Let's cut through the BS before we all drown in it.
Defense Production Act that was announced today, the president, taking a step back from that, what emergency is the president using to invoke the Defense Production Act? Because historically it's been in the 1950s for the Korean War, during COVID it was enacted. What emergency is it, or what's the real emergency in the solar industry for the Defense Production Act?
The Emergency Productions Act, to my knowledge, was done in Korea, and it was done during COVID. Correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't done any other time because there was an emergency, at least with COVID. Here's the problem, there's not an emergency. It's not. He just wants more solar panels. And he's not going to let the market decide that. We are government. We know better than the American people what they want. And so this is what we're going to do.
So let me, I was going to say first, the president, when he takes the Defense Production Act, it's to make sure that he's delivering for the American people.
The Production Act is not a wish list for the American people. It's for emergencies only.
It is an important tool that he has used a couple of times, and it has been incredibly effective. So for this particular Clean Energy Defense Production Act, he is invoking the Defense Production Act to rapidly expand domestic production of solar.
Oh, the Production Act expands production. We didn't know that. Thanks for that little tip.
Panel parts, building insulation, heat pumps, and more. He is putting the full force of the federal government's purchasing power behind supporting American clean energy manufacturers.
Oh, I hate to bore you with all this, but this is what our government is spouting to our press. Not that they're worth anything, but finally, I guess, since Trump's not there, they're asking real questions, or kind of real questions. And there you are. There's about $400,000 to $500,000 worth of Ivy League schooling. I'd get a refund if I were her. I'd demand a partial refund. Until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.